said, I like this one. He's saying, Cholo, banate.
When there is pride. And this happens in every relationship. So this was a story about that depicted as a father-son story.
And I get a chance to say this to him in front of 1,000 people around. Dad, I love you.
Loud shout. But he had to control himself in every single scene so that when he shouted once, it rung across in everyone's heart and ears.
Avinash intimidates me the most.
Just to fill me, just to fill me.
So first question is that we've done this a couple of times in different audiences, but Ajay, बहु मजा आवी हाँ. तुमने मजा आवी?
George, I am a little overwhelmed. There are lots of people up in the balcony. That's the crew and my family members. I didn't know it. That's my rascal son who's shouting from there. Yeah. Is this a guy that you know? And there are lots of people who are sitting here who aren't part of the crew and who aren't part of my family. But now, the way you've reacted to the film, and you all are people I've never met before, but the way you've reacted to the film is so overwhelming. I can't believe that this film that we were acting, not realizing how people have picked up every single nuance, a shift of the eye, a hand gesture. You all picked up everything. What an amazing audience here at the Kala World Festival. It is so good. And believe me, this film now belongs to you. Today I feel that there's a delivery that happened in the maternity ward, and now you all are all the parents of the film. Go out there and let the world know that this is your baby now. It's all yours.
No, but I must say, Sonal, what Prime Video enables is that for this story to go to so many countries and so many homes. And I truly believe that this is that story. So I'm going to take it back to Boman at this point and say, you have to tell us today, is this the story that chose you or did you choose it?
So the whole world should know this clean and clear. We must give credit where it's due. And many years ago, many years ago, Sujoy Ghosh came to my house and he started narrating 4 or 5 one-liners. This is the story here, this is the story here, this story here. And then he mentioned a story of a father and son who live together for 48 hours and then they make friends, they don't make friends, we don't know. I said, I like this one. He's saying, Cholo, banate. So I said, लेकिन ये फिल्म मुझे direct करनी है. तो he's saying, आपकी हो गई. Thank you, Sujoy Ghosh. आपकी हो गई, and he's so large-hearted. He just handed over the film to the one-liner, and then slowly, we started developing it. I was shooting Well Done Abba. Shyam Babu's film was showing before ours, Manthan, and I was shooting with Shyam Babu, Mr. Shyam Benegal in Hyderabad. And there was a person in production from Reliance at that point of time. And I was doing some discussion with Shyam Babu, and she calls me to the side and said, why don't you direct a film? I said, bachpan se yahi to thought tha mera, lekin time lagega. Saying, remember one thing, whenever you make this film, in any capacity, I want to work on the film. I said, theek hai, I keep my promises. Some 12 years later, she meets me in passing at the Marriott and said, remember that film you spoke to me about in Hyderabad? I said, yeah. Have you made it? I said, no, of course not. You'll make it with us? I said, who's us? Amazon Prime Video. This is Aparna Mathur. And it had to be that this film, for someone who had so much belief in the story on day one, 12 years later, was the shepherd of this film. Aparna Mathur.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Boman. And I'm going to come back to you if we have time and if the audience also has some questions, we're going to come to you as well. But I'll take this at this point to Avinash. Hi, Avinash.
Hello.
Do you have a mic holding
Give up again, come on!
There you go. Fathers and sons, tricky yaar. Tricky. You know what was beautiful was at no point did you look like the bad guy, neither did your father. Okay, and that's how we all are. And my mom's here, and you know we have a similar relationship where we love to hate each other sometimes. But what did you tell yourself, you know, at that point when you had to make this film, when you had to draw from this character? What was most important for you?
You know, I read the script, and yes, of course, on the face of it, it was a father-son story. Uh, but for some reason, I constantly kept feeling that this is a story of human relationships. It's every relationship where you find love, where you find an obstacle of communication, where you have egos, when there is pride, and this happens in every relationship. So this was a story about that depicted as a father-son story. That came out very strongly to me. I reached out to sir and said, "Sir, ये वाला तो मुझे करना ही है." Sitting here today at Regal, you know, we have done this trip of festivals all around the world. But अपना घर होता है यार. Just coming here, getting this reaction from the people, sitting here today. It's my father's birthday today. I am so fortunate that he's sitting amongst the audience today.
Where is he? Where is he?
Right there up somewhere.
Please stand up. Yay!
Happy birthday, Dad! Hi, Mom. And I get a chance to say this to him in front of 1,000 people around. Dad, I love you!
Somebody cover him. Somebody take shots of him.
It's such an amazing feeling for me today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
I just have to add. I think there was so much restraint in this young man's performance. They say for actors, when in doubt, shout. But he had to control himself in every single scene so that when he shouted once, it rung across in everyone's heart and ears. It was so good in that scene, in every scene. And the last scene, there aren't any dialogues at the airport. Please don't tell anybody about that scene. Nobody on the set knew what was happening. It was in the script. I pull out the page from the script. The DOP, the director of photography, Krish Makkija, give him a big hand. My assistant, first assistant, Pikansh, and of course, Sakshi, Mehta, nobody knew what was going to happen during the handshake sequence. Nobody knew. I told nobody. I didn't tell. I just said, call for 2 cameras today. The camera mila tha. Turn it on and dare anybody call cut because you might lose a moment. And we took our time and the camera kept rolling and I just kept rolling and rolling. And finally, when I grabbed him and did what I did, it was like movie magic. Every single person on the set started crying and hiding behind the trailer and weeping. It took about 15 minutes to get everybody back to the set after that moment. I tell you, when I walk into the airport concourse and he's standing there all by himself, no dialogue, no pushing the emotion, just standing there, staring. You can hear what he's saying. You can hear the lump in his throat. That's a performance, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Shreya, I hope the mic will come to you. So, congratulations. Prime Video is truly home. Bandish Bandit Season 2. And now Mehta, boys! So, I do want to tell you that it's very easy for girls to get lost in a story about boys. But the story and the men around you, you know, at this point, of course, made sure that you didn't just, you're not just seen, you were shining. So tell us about that. What is the best thing about working, okay, in this family?
Oh my God, there's so much to tell, but I want to begin with firstly thanking everyone for just coming here. Today, it's a very huge, clap for yourself, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. It's a huge realization of my own dream. I've come to Kala Ghoda, the festival, the cinema, so many times with my parents, and today they're here watching a film that I'm a part of. So I'm eternally grateful to Boman sir and the Prime Video team for this opportunity.
Come on.
There's so many things that are so beautiful about this script. And like I always tell Sir, I didn't choose the script chose me. But what really stands out for me as an actor is the fact that all the female characters are so empowered. And one very beautiful note that Pawan Sir gave me was that empowerment doesn't necessarily have to stem from aggression. It can also have a gentle side. It can also be in touch with that feminine energy, which is so beautiful that all of us women over here add to the men in our lives. So I want to thank Sir for writing characters like Pooja and mine because they're so beautiful and they're so real, and it's truly, I think, an ode to all the beautiful women in all of our lives. So thank you, guys.
I'm sorry, I have to say my bit about my actors. You said Pooja and you, of course, both of you are outstanding, but there's another third female character, and that's Shivani, who you don't see. She's so beautiful. Her presence is there throughout the film, and Alex and I, my co-writer, Alex Dinelaris, please give him a big hand. And when we wrote Shivani, it was like Shivani is there in the room. And my favoriteest moment with this beautiful, beautiful actress, and what a wonderful person to work with, was in the end when she turns and tells Mr. Makija, however, in my professional opinion, it's superb. If they love it, which I'm sure they will, gosh, shouldn't be an issue. And then she looks at him. And actually, that is the only time in the film there's some romance between them. Otherwise, she's just pushing him and he's just not getting pushed. But that moment is written in the script. That moment is that she looks at him like she can jump across the table and kiss him. That was the way it was written. And you did so beautifully, I can't tell you. It's a pleasure to direct someone like you.
Yeah, it's my joke with Shreya. Every time I see her, it's like in my professional opinion, and I absolutely love it. So the reason I come to Pooja at the end is because Pooja is the person you have known the longest. So thank you, Pooja, for being patient. And can I tell you, I've told you this before at the Goa screening, that airport scene is, oh my God. So I'm going straight for the kill. I'm just gonna ask you, like, ऐसी दीदियाँ होती हैं, but हम सारी दीदियाँ उसमें हैं यार.
अविनाश की 8 बहनें हैं एक्चुअली. आई वंडर अनु किस किस की मिक्सचर है, क्या है. बट आई हैव टू से बिफोर दैट इट्स ओवरवेलमिंग टू वॉच दिस फिल्म इन रीगल विद योर फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली. इट्स the last film I saw here was, I think, the full Monty, and now it's the Mehta boys. But yeah, really special. And about the airport scene, man, it was the most dreaded scene for me. But the script is so kadak. Boman and Alex have done such a great job that your job as an actor gets really easy. And I think we all relate to Anu in the sense that we've all been there in that situation where we're trying to patch up things. We're trying to get people to talk. And there's also a point where you're like, you know what, I'm out of here. I can't. It's these two idiots who have to do it. So
You call your director an idiot?
the character shift.
No, it's beautifully acted, beautifully written, but more than anything else. And there's these moments where I think maybe it's Mumbai, I don't know what, but we were laughing. And I think that is the quiet strength of the film, where there is so much asu, but before that you make us laugh. So Boman, that's a lot like what you really set out to do, right?
I think but only one good word about Pooja, otherwise she'll be left out.
Yeah.
That airport sequence, it was very expensive set. It was a very expensive set. And talking about budgets, Pooja had to wear her own clothes. No, honestly, she auditioned from the mountains. She was in Uttarakhand. And I said, who's that? Bring her here and tell her to bring her clothes with her and tell her not to comb her hair either. And we just kept it that way. She's so real and she's so wonderful and she's so beautiful. And she's frustrated till at the airport scene. I said, you're going to explode only at the airport scene. Now, we had half a night to shoot that scene, but we were running out of time. So I said, okay, we're going to do it in one take, only one take. Because the whole thing is the camera is following them and no cuts. Had we cut, we would have to spend 5 or 6 hours to shoot that scene. And I went and told Pooja, no cuts, single take, we've designed it. Krish is right here, he'll tell you. And I said, but I'll give you 3 takes. We used the first one.
Now, before we go there, then even I'll say something.
Bolo na.
Was that moment of the Lal Tadpatri written in?
Every single thing is written.
Yeah.
Every single
It was
thing.
beautiful.
The Lal Talpatri is the mother
Yeah,
showing her
of
anger.
course.
Because we have to set it up. How can it not be written? It was written in the earlier scene when it talks about the sari and Shivani and
Yeah.
that beautiful sari in the red, and then immediately paise ki baat mat kar, and this guy has gone and done a paise ka nonsense and made his father feel. I mean, who the hell are you to pay half the bill? Yeah. That has really happened to me in real life, just by the way. I paid half the bill for somebody, and that guy, the old Parsi gentleman, just didn't take it. What about my dignity, he said. You think I can't buy you a meal? It still rankles. But that scene had to be written in because the monologue is there. And you can't just fix that on the set. The number of tests we did at the chalkboard office of that Talpatri flying. It was flying so beautifully in rehearsal. But when we went on the terrace, it did fly only. Because we put some holes in them to, कि थोड़ा जला हुआ रखना चाहिए. ताज़ा आया था और फिर हम लोग बोले थोड़ा काला बनाओ. तो काला वो टॉर्च के साथ 2-4 खड्डे बन गए तो उसमें हवा निकल गया, ऊपर गया ही नहीं. So we finally did some jol as we do, and we made it fly.
Well, thank you so much for answering. That was my question. What's yours? Your hand can be raised. And can we take it to the girl there with the glasses? Yeah, right there. Yeah, stand up. Yeah, thank you. Please direct your question.
So it is to actually all of them.
All no,
But
one.
if
You have to
we are
choose.
I might go with Boman sir.
Okay.
So in
Sorry,
the
boys.
movie- in the movie, it is clearly a father and son story, right? So while shooting, which was that one moment that you have had with your son?
All right. Which was that moment? Actually, none. Actually, really none. It's generally, I'll tell you what the deal is. The deal is, I think, the cricket scene, since you mentioned the cricket scene, it is a father who's trying to push, like any good parent, his kids to do their best. That's what the cricket scene is about. So maybe in the effort to push your kids to do their very best, the intention is good. The method may not be good. And while you're pushing them, you're the one who gets hurt. The son might get a scar saying that my father, you might lose confidence, but you're the one who gets hurt. That's the idea of the cricket scene. So maybe pushing your kids to do their best is sometimes misunderstood. That's also the point of the film.
Thank you so much for your question. And would you please pass on the mic to the gentleman behind? Yes, thank you.
Good evening.
Yeah. So actually, I'm a style launch student too. So.
What's your name?
Moise.
Moise! Have you paid your fees? Go ahead.
Just kidding.
Right.
So मेरा सवाल आपके लिए था.
जी.
I want to know, sir, आपने अभी फिलहाल कुछ सालों से अगर आप लिखना सिखा रहे हो, so the intricacy of writing, how has that helped in writing of this film? Like, how does teaching writing help the technique? Because I can see कि आपने सिखाया, अच्छा, this is the inciting incident, this is the end of first act, वो सब हमें समझ आ रहा है.
Wow.
How has that?
It's the other way around. लिखने के बाद I had, मतलब मेरी औकात बनती है किसी को सिखाने के लिए. You understand? It's the other way around. It's all there. You see, one thing you can teach. We have been doing Spiral Bound 780 sessions.
Yeah.
You can teach and teach and teach and teach, but if you yourself don't apply that teaching, then don't teach it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Young lady with the glasses.
I just want to let you know I'm a master's student and I've overshot my intake by an hour, so I'm going to get a scolding when I go back. But I as well for you. I'm from London College and I've been a part of multiple committees over the last 7 months. And every single time, my only motive has been to get Boman Sir to my college. Hasn't happened yet, but I will make it happen. One question that I want to
But
ask.
how much are you offering?
You guys inexperienced.
Oh my God. She'll definitely land up in management.
Bold, darling.
One thing that I liked the most about this movie was its humor. It wasn't slapstick, but it was so full of a dad joke energy and such real humor, which is very, I know as a writer, it's very, very hard to write humor, especially such a real essence humor. How do you do that? How do you write such real humor in your stories that made everyone in this audience laugh?
The trick is not to write for the humor. Because if you write to humor, you're concentrating on something else. You should write for the truth. And the idea and the reason why you might find certain things that are funny in the film are because you're seeing yourself. You're looking at yourself. That's why it's called the Mehta boys when she says, babies, you two babies, remember? We behave like stupid children when we are arguing and fighting. And actually the humor comes from the reflection and the mirror that this film holds in front of your own faces. That's the funny part.
Thank you for your question and thank you for that wonderful answer. Can we take the mic to that side, please? Thank you.
Hi guys. Pumsa, my question is for you. I was actually, it's been a really long time since I watched a simple film like this. And I feel like somewhere in modern Indian cinema, simple stories are being lost. And with respect to how this film actually flowed through, it had my attention at every point in time.
Thank
So,
you.
what does it take to, make this simple story so engaging? Because this was a movie that was really engaged with, but when it comes to other movies that are being made about simple stories, sometimes you tend to lose attention. So, it's specifically about the writing.
Yes. Simple stories are the most difficult to write. And the theory is, and this was Alex keeps saying, take a simple thing and complicate it. And the only thing that I can say, joint spiral bound, but what I can say about a simple story, you can have, and I don't like the word slice of life. I mean, you can write a slice of life film and you can have scene after scene after scene after scene. And then after something, yeah, okay, I saw this happened, this may have happened. But the complication is how you take all these beautiful moments and put a string through it. And the string, this is a bit of a writing lesson, comes through theme and character. You don't remember the plot. You'll only remember characters, and you'll only remember theme, and theme is what will resonate with you. So what are the themes in this film? Our own stupidity is one of the themes. Masculinity and ego, three major themes. If every scene there is masculinity, ego, and stupidity, in each and every scene embedded in it, except for the last few scenes, you will have people's attention. And I don't think this film, it may sound like a slow film, but it's not. You're engaged, as you just said. Thank you for the compliment. But there is, even in the elevator, it's about his masculinity. No, I'll hold it myself. Even paying the car, the bill, it's about him being an egotistical, masculine man. I have arrived, I'll pay the bill. My father doesn't know. Even at the passport office, it's about your masculinity and ego. I can arrange it. It's me. Don't take away my power. It's about my masculinity he wanted to take away by telling the passport lady, if you can embed these themes, then people will pay attention. Long story short. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. We're here for the Boman Irani Masterclass for free. Sorry guys. Kalagura Festival chal raha hai. Yes sir.
First of all, congratulations. You finally get it there with it your way.
Thank you.
Sing my way a lot of times.
Thank you.
For those of you in the audience who do not know, the gentleman sitting there is a wonderful singer. His my way is something that you need to hear if you haven't heard it already. So thank you all for this experience in this wonderful movie.
Thank you.
My question is to Shreya Chaudhary actually.
Oh, wow.
We didn't see that coming actually.
Let's hear the question.
See, I have watched her in Bandit Families 1 and 2 and of course now here.
Actually, we watched an earlier movie of hers called Maya, the one Manisha Koirala, if I remember correctly. So, Shreya, the question to you is, how intimidated were you? Because in Bandesh Bangladesh there was Naseeruddin Shah, and here was Boman Irani. You are actually working with thespians, and did you ever feel intimidated, or they just made you feel good?
Or Avinash, actually.
Avinash intimidates me the most.
No. I'm saying, or Avinash could have been intimidated as well. Yeah.
Kidding. I've been blessed to work with Boman sir, and I think since the day that I met him for the first time for my audition, I remember when he said to me that I found my Zara, and that day to today, he's always held my hand through everything. So I'm very lucky to have him in the form of a teacher, mentor, almost a father figure, truly. And seriously, it's the biggest blessing in my life that I get to learn, act, perform, and spend time with a man like him. And I said this even during our trailer launch. This film really talks about empathy, and I feel relationships can get so much better if we just empathize with one another, right? And it takes a very empathetic human being to make a film like this. And I truly feel he's not just the greatest actor, director, but the greatest human being I've ever met in my life. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's why this movie is so lovely and magical. I want you to be our friends and spread the word. I want you to tell everybody you know that there is a beautiful film coming on Amazon Prime. And Boman, you'll remind them of the date of the drop, please.
The 7th of Feb on Amazon Prime Video. Please watch it and spread the word.